Sup everyone, Darkscreen217 here,
This is Multifire.
and today we decided to just talk about, we just got into a huge argument over something about Sonic or whatever, and I thought that would be an interesting video for us just butting heads because, believe it or not, even though Multifire and I have been in a lot of videos together, we butt heads on a lot of things. But then, for some reason, that conversation just wanted him to spark, hey, let's talk about our ginormous DVD collections of anime.
Yep, we were discussing like why we were cynical on different things, and we think I'm more cynical when it comes to video games because I play like a ton of them. I'm a video game nerd,
And I'm
and
slowly turning cynical when it comes to anime because, well, I have, like him, except but with anime DVDs and whatnot. And the collection I'm about to show you isn't even my complete collection. I have about four more book bags worth and an entire bookshelf of DVDs stacked.
yeah, you're gonna hear my entire collection in this video. It's not that big.
And you're going to hear a small fraction of mine. We'll start with you, Multifire.
All right, should I just lay them out? Just lay all of them out?
Just talk about each DVD you have, if you've seen it or not, or why and whatnot. We'll just make it like the recent issues, just small little ramblings of each show.
Well, I'll start off with the obvious. I have Evangelion. I have the Platinum series of Evangelion. Then I have Death and Rebirth and the End of Evangelion on one disc, and then I have Evangelion, the two new movies. I have them both on DVD. Well, no, wait, I don't have the first one DVD. I have the second one DVD, but I have them both on Blu-ray, and so that's my entire Evangelion collection right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't have it with me right now, but it's stacked somewhere. But I do have the the big that big 8 disc collector's edition Evangelion, that big black box with the Nerve logo on it. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the first one.
Yeah, that cost me about $40, and I do have the first two Evangelion movies, and the one I have is the one I have of the first movie because there's like several different versions of it is 1.01, which is basically the film minus the bonus content. And let's see, first thing on the top of my stack, the Melancholy of Haruhi-chan Suzumiya Nyoron Churuya-san Volume 2. I have Volume 1 with me as well, but I'm looking at Volume 2. It was a web series. It was actually two web series. I just named them both. That were originally based off of some fan comics that were so popular that they actually got spun off to their own individual official mangas, and they became mini web series as a way to hold fans over for the much disappointing season 2 Endless 8 FU arc.
Hmm.
We'll get to that later. But I love Haruhi-chan. Nyoron was a bit too acid trippy for me because it's just nothing of this character Nyoro Churuya-san, who is this little chibi girl who's addicted to smoked cheese, and she's based off of Tsuruya from the TV series. And it's just basically some sort of gag, and it always ends with her going, Nyoron. It's weird. I didn't say it was bad. It was just pretty weird. I get some kicks out of it, and there were a couple things that did make me laugh hard. As for Haruhi-chan, I really liked that spinoff a lot. I just love the idea of making it more comical and less serious when compared to the original TV series. I especially love the changes they made. Like Yuki Nagato is like a freaking video game addict, and Ryoko Asakura returns, but she's like a really short person now,
Yeah.
and she's forced to live with Yuki Nagato in her condition. So yeah, I would totally recommend. The only way you're able to get these DVDs, to my knowledge, is if you buy them off of Bandai's website. They were about $15. No, wait, they were actually $20 a piece for me per DVD. So yeah, I'll say I like it. Your turn.
I have the complete series of Elfen Lied
So
because
do I.
yeah, I just bought it in stores one day and was like, "Oh, I heard this is pretty critically acclaimed." But I was not prepared for the fucked upness that series brought on me. I quit watching it the fourth episode and like took like a 2 week break before I finished the series, like because I just thought it was that messed up.
I was actually watching that, and shit, was it? I would say like at the beginning of my senior year of high school, I was just always watching one episode per morning, and I finished up the last four of the week. I was trying to man up and finish watching it because yeah, that movie is emotionally depressing, or TV series, and
Yeah, it's
I don't
fucked up.
think it's that great. And the ending was a bit of a cop out, but I still liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with the ending. I liked. I want to say like everything leading up to the ending, and the ending itself, I really don't have that much of an opinion on. It was kind of like that generic anime ending where nothing gets resolved.
All right, so we both say we like it.
Mhm.
All right. Next thing on my list, Summer Wars. Even though I bought this back in February, still not yet to see it.
Really, I want to buy it and see it too. I hear it's great, and I saw the trailers, and the trailers were
Yeah,
so like strange.
it's actually animated by the guy who worked on the Digimon movies. I don't know if you saw the first Digimon movie, how it had a completely different art style and everything. I actually like that movie. I kind of do still to this day, even though it's actually a compilation of OVAs originally. I haven't seen it yet, and I know a lot of people are going to harp on me for not seeing it yet, and they're probably going to tell me, "Oh, you have to see this as soon as possible. It's pretty damn good." I'll try to get to it by the weekend, okay?
Yeah.
Your turn.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get another thing that we both like out of the way. I have Tenchi Universe, the complete series, and that series is a masterpiece. I
Oh
think I really
yeah.
love it.
I did not like it as much as the OVA series, but I still really, really liked it.
Yeah, it's really really good. Really enjoyable. Very dramatic ending.
Oh yeah, and God, was episode 24 a bit depressing, don't you think?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. You have to watch all of the episodes leading up to it to get the context, but once you get there, it's so sad.
But yeah, I guess we say we both liked it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. The next thing on my list, oh my gosh, the TV series. Okay, this is something I didn't know about until a year ago when my buddy Jeff, aka Inotech, showed me this. I wanted to see the series Oh My Goddess, which was actually some OVAs that was made in the 90s. And then he tells me about the TV series that was actually made recently, like back in 2005. I had no idea. So I sat down and watched a couple episodes before I left for that summer, and I liked it. I didn't see the whole thing, and I heard it's two seasons. I'm holding season one, and I plan to watch more of it in the future. I bought this when I was still in college, just a couple of weeks ago or several weeks ago, and so far I'm liking it. Though the pace is pretty damn slow at the moment.
Mm.
Yeah. There was also one complaint. Episode 1 sounded like it had some syncing problems in the English dub. Like, I noticed that the dialogue would like, go before the mouth flaps do, and sometimes the sound effects would be, like, the same way.
That's odd.
But hopefully, I do fully enjoy this series through and through, and the damn DVD keeps falling out. Ugh. Yeah, that's actually kind of annoying.
Yeah, well, I feel your pain. I bought Rurouni Kenshin, like it said brand new again, and I got it, and the box was all broken and shit.
Well, the
So
box isn't broken, but I think it is defective DVD making, or maybe I just have bad luck. But volume one is not staying in the case all that well, so I have to be very gentle. And there we go.
But yeah, it's the next thing on my list. Rurouni Kenshin. I am kind of a sucker for this series, just because I like Samurai X Trust and Betrayal so much that it made me want to like this show. And it's a good show. I like it. I don't like it as much as the movies. I own Samurai X Trust and Betrayal. I have not seen Reflection, but I own that.
I uh, I I probably need to rewatch this series again, but when I watched it on Toonami, I was a bit disappointed because I was expecting something a little. This is kind of opposite of my case. I usually like shows that are a bit lighthearted and not as serious, but with Kenshin, it's the complete opposite for me. When I noticed that the TV series was more lighthearted and had stupid comedy, Plus, that opening theme song was fucking awful.
I used to rickroll people with that theme song before I knew what rickrolling. Before rickrolling was invented, I would like totally just play that song near my friends just to
Yeah,
piss them off.
you do that, you get a knuckle sandwich from me, courtesy of Billy. Okay.
I actually animated a cartoon
My
and had it on
friends tried to
Newgrounds where
do.
the credit music was that.
My friend would do that to me actually, and that would annoy me. Okay. So yeah, I don't have an opinion on it. I do want to see Trust and Betrayal though, so I'm guessing you liked it too. Or
Trust and
did not.
Betrayal is my favorite anime movie ever. It is I watched it and was blown away the entire movie.
Okay.
So,
Next up on the list was something I wanted to get for a while, but I never got around to it. Comic Party, the complete collection. This little 4 disc thin pack thing, which comes with a little neat booklet
I've been wanting to watch
of
that
the
too.
of the well, this it comes with a booklet of the pop culture references and whatnot.
Oh,
Um, uh, haven't finished watching it. I came to a stopping point at a particular episode. It was a pretty depressing episode too, and have a feeling it's going to get a little darker later on. But things will probably turn around. Um, I do like it so far, even though some of the character designs are very similar and whatnot. But it feels kind of retro for me in that style. I don't know if the art style just kind of looks 1990s ish, even though I think this anime was made a little more recently. And I do like the English dub. I do like some of the voice casts. Some people who actually like voice 4Kids as voice actors might actually notice a few familiar VAs. It's a pretty fun series. I enjoyed it. I heard it doesn't get much character development in comparison to the manga, and I do want to read the manga sometime in the future. But right now, the anime itself, I like it, and I also like some of the bonus content that came with the DVD. I prefer my anime DVDs to come with some extra stuff, whether it be previews for other anime or commentary tracks, etc., etc. So I'll say, so far, I like it.
all right.
Yeah.
Might check that out.
Your turn. I'm going to be rummaging through these DVDs in my bag.
All right, well, here's a controversial series just for the fact that it's overplayed. And I actually like this series, and many people don't like it just because they've had the unfortunate they were unfortunate because they came into contact with the annoying fan base and yada yada yada. And it's way overplayed, but I actually own the first season of Inuyasha. I actually don't mind the first season.
Actually, I didn't either.
Yeah, it was a great first season. I mean, the issue with Inuyasha is every season after the first season was exactly like the first season.
It's like Pokemon actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Minus
exactly.
minus the Orange Island arc. I told you before I actually did like the Orange Island arc when it aired on Pokemon.
Yeah, but I enjoyed this series. Nostalgia reasons. I liked the characters. The story was. I liked the setting. To say is something I want to say. The story itself was kind of bland, but I enjoyed the setting and the concept behind it, with the other world and shit
I'll
like
be
that.
fair. To be fair, almost every character except for Sango maybe is pretty damn annoying. Uh, oh god, Inuyasha annoying. Kagome it irritates me. Moroku, the perverted cliche works on the on old people, or that's what I just firmly believe. Because I think Masaroshi and everyone else after him just pulls it off just fine. When somebody younger tries that crap, I just feel annoyed.
See, I don't mind those characters as much, but the pervert humor bothers me a little bit. But I'm not really annoyed by them. Um, they're not the type of characters that annoy me, I guess. There are characters out there that do annoy me greatly.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I don't think either one of us. Actually, you own Love Hina, so we could talk about.
Actually, I didn't own Love Hina, but I have
Oh,
borrowed it from a friend to watch it.
I'm gonna say the female interest to that series is like the pinnacle of what annoys me in anime.
Naru Sagawa.
Yes.
Oh boy, I can't wait for Laughing Man D to see that. You can write about that in his Screw Attack blog. Actually, I need to visit that blog whenever if he's got anything done with it yet, or if he did take that job, because that would be kind of interesting to read.
That would be cool. I hope he isn't angry that we talked about that in this video.
Nah, but he might just crack a joke. Anyway, next thing I got: Those Who Hunt Elves Seasons 1 and 2. Anime from the 90s. I think people were bashing on this anime. I even had an IRL friend who told me that this was complete shit and asked why I bought this. But this is the case of everyone else doesn't like it, but I do. I will admit the premise is silly. It's about four guys who get thrown into a fantasy world, and they want to go back home in Japan, obviously. And but something goes wrong, and the high mage elf woman, I forgot her name. It's another series I haven't completed watching yet, but I really hope I get around to that one soon. But God, I'm so lazy when it comes to watching anime. Um, uh, the base. So she screws up because one of the characters decided to make cracks about her that she should have done this chant while she's naked or something. And she loses focus, all the mystical marks get spread, and they actually hit on each female elf in the series. So they have to go find these women with these markings, get the markings back on the priest, and then return home. Here's the catch, though. Instead of like politely asking if they have a weird tattoo marking or whatever that they just got, they just flat out strip the woman of their clothes. They just they skip the formalities and go, take off your clothes or I'll do it for you. That's That's the premise.
Feminists don't like that series. That's true.
Hey, here's the sad part. 1, 2, 3 characters of that party are all female.
Huh.
There's only one guy in that group, the martial artist Junpei. The other 2 characters are I forgot their name. I think Ritsuko was the actress. And I really need to look up Wikipedia again. And the other woman is a gun toter, and then they have a tank that several episodes later got possessed by a spirit of a kitty cat. So yeah, a kitty cat tank. Anywho,
it sounds wacky. It sounds kind of funny. Though.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun of. See, fantasy anime are actually really good. I just have very little problems with them. So yeah, and I really can't hate them because they know what they are and they try to be fun or whatever. Except for Berserk, but that's still also good.
I haven't checked out Berserk, but everyone's telling me I should. So.
Oh yeah, I actually want to read the manga more since it lasts longer.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess I can talk about Ikki Tousen. That's more of a trophy series. It's nothing worth buying. But I defended it, so like I felt like I should have bought it. Yeah.
Oh God. Did you?
So I own that series.
Did you buy the Funimation DVD collection or the Genion one?
Let me check. Genion.
Wow, so you actually got one of the better versions because the Genion actually comes with extra features like gag reels and this is something Jim told me. Apparently. They have some behind-the-scenes footage, and they got some of the voice. They got like schoolgirls posing when they did the animations for it.
Ooh.
And I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not. And if it isn't, don't blame me. I got that information from Games Good Me Bad. Okay, he told me.
Well, how old are the schoolgirls?
I have no idea.
That all depend, the age. It's important.
I really hope I didn't mix up his information or anything, but yeah, he said something about those lines regarding schoolgirls and poses and drawing. That's what he said something along those lines. That's what the DVD features in the Genion version contain.
So yeah,
you know how I feel about everyone knows how I feel about Ikki Tousen, or at least the first season. Yeah.
It has great fan service.
No, it doesn't.
Like one interest. Well, I'm talking about great as in a lot.
Oh, well, just say copious amount.
Copious amounts of fan service, and maybe one good character, and the rest is pretty mediocre to bad.
Okay. Well, actually, it's one good character and a half. I actually liked Uncho Kanu in the series, even though she showed up for
That's
3
true.
episodes. Yeah.
And like the fight scenes, like were half good because the parts you saw were cool,
The fight
and the
scenes with
parts
Kanu
you,
were actually almost decent, but then
yeah,
they
and
spend
like
more time focus on everyone else.
yeah, they're just like, oh well, fuck the fight scene, let's do more drama shit. And we're like, no, it's a fighting series, we want to see
Yeah, I
this.
want to see people beating the crap out of each other. Is that I at least get that out of Power Rangers.
Yeah, right.
See, that's why
Uh,
I find that's why I kind of like Power Rangers is because I do like the martial arts choreography and the action scenes in those series. Even if they do put fake effects and really cheap explosions.
those add to the humor though.
Yeah,
No, boom.
we can't have blood, so we'll replace all the blood with sparks.
Uh,
All right, so yeah, you own the first season of Ikki Tousen. I pity you.
Pity you more, you on the second season.
That's not true. Anyway, moving on. All right, the next thing I have in my collection, Desert Punk: The Complete Series, the Viridian Collection. Another great series that I haven't even finished watching.
Yeah, I own one of the I don't have it here with me, but I own the first couple of DVDs of that too. It's a hilarious series, absolutely
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh god, it is a funny as hell series. I love it because of that. And I saw about 6 episodes of it. Need to continue watching more. But yeah, um, again, Jeff showed this to me. I saw the first episode, found it hilarious, so I had to pick it up as soon as I could. Um, the DVDs themselves are actually they're full of stuff I want to see. They come with special features. They have some Easter eggs that you can look and find online to see if you can get them. Some of the extras include behind the scenes, the opening to Desert Punk was actually a live action sequence, so they actually did a behind the scenes thing about that, even though it's just some guy dressed up as the Desert Punk, just walking through the desert and showing off a bit. Textless songs. What else does it come with? Voice actor commentary on disc 3 or 4. It doesn't matter. And more commentary. Oh yeah, there were also some bloopers in the final DVD that I actually skipped ahead and looked at, and they were also really funny. So yeah, I will definitely continue watching Desert Punk sometime in the future. Hilarious series about a guy who lives in a post-apocalyptic desert-like setting, working as a mercenary. Hilarity ensues. His rival is a big-breasted merc.
Yeah.
Boy, did they make a lot of jokes about that. Tits,
Fan service jokes ensue.
Tits McGee. I
Yeah.
think that's my favorite line. It's like, oh, I can't wait to get back at that Tits McGee. Man, she really had those huge phone bangs. He actually says shit like that. All right. What's next on your list?
All right. Oh, here's something we can talk about that we haven't talked about yet, and I think it's because I think you already covered it in a video on your channel. I'm not so sure if it was on this channel or the Dark Scream 217,
Go on.
but Tenchi the movie. We both watched that together.
Oh, yes. I did do a review of it. Unfortunately, I didn't back it up on a DVD, so when I erased it permanently.
Uh,
Yeah, I need to re-review all 3 films. Yeah, the same thing applies for the second and third Tenchi films, which sucks because another guest, was actually talking about those movies when I was with him, when he was with me. Um, but the short version is I actually liked all 3 films, and Multifire and I, watched the first one together, and that was a really damn good movie.
it's a great movie. It's really dramatic. It's really interesting. I liked the time travel aspect, and I remember it being really violent too.
Oh yeah, like one of the supporting characters specifically for that movie gets it bad.
Yeah, he gets mutilated.
Yeah, the Galaxy police officer guy, like his entire upper torso plus his arm gets torn off and it gets thrown in front of Nobuyuki and Achika.
Yeah, that was. I was expecting him to do something badass the entire movie, but he just died. He totally gave that away for people, but
Oh, nobody cares about him.
yeah, it's true.
It's not a character that's from any earlier episodes of the TV series or anything. He's just some random Galaxy Police fuck. Like, if they killed off Mahoshi or something like that, yeah, that would be pretty fucking bad.
That would be horrible if
Yeah.
that's what happened to Mihoshi.
Oh, man.
I think its fan base would like cry.
All right. Next thing on my list. I don't know why I still have it in this book bag, but, Burn Up Excess, which is a TV series sequel to Burn Up W, which is somewhat of a 90s adaptation of the Burn Up series. I am not that familiar with the original Burn Up, but I have seen like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the Burn Up W OVA, and I saw almost the entire series of Burn Up Excess, save for I'm 4 episodes away from finishing it. And for some reason, I've put this baby on a 3-4 year hiatus.
I
Yeah,
do that all the time.
this was like the first anime I've actually like said, I'll watch it later. And then every time I think about watching it, I'll go, I'll watch it later.
I've done that with Full Metal Panic, Fafner, Rurouni Kenshin, and Inuyasha. After I bought them, I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Then I just stopped watching one day.
Yeah, no, we really need to catch up on our quota.
Yeah, I got to
we,
start watching
we
this.
gotta thin out that backlog. But Burn Up Excess, not that good of an anime, but I still like it, and I thought it was kind of fun. One of the reasons why I bought this DVD specifically, and this is an ADV licensed title, is because there's a stupid little feature on the DVD called the Jiggle Counter, where it counts the number of breast jiggles on each character. And if you turn that on, it does make it a little bit funnier.
Yeah,
Because
that's
most of the characters are
pretty
pretty.
awesome.
Because most of the characters in that series are pretty stacked.
Yeah, I saw it in the discount anime store in my city, and it looked pretty funny. I was thinking about buying
I
a
think
couple.
it had the same artist. I know somebody from Tenchi worked on this. I don't know if it's the writer himself or one of the. I think it's just one of the artists because the art direction is very similar. Plus, in episode 4, where one of the supporting characters, Maya, gets a letter from home. The letter had a little character design on the bottom right corner. And Tenchi fans will point it out right away. That's actually Ryo Oki sitting in that corner. So they made a little nod to Tenchi that way. So yeah, I'll say yeah, I like it. But I need to finish it. I need to finish it. This is probably the first thing I'm going to finish on the weekend.
Yeah. Um, well, another thing I haven't finished, but I own both seasons of Code Geass, and I haven't finished it because I ordered imports from China because they were cheap.
Eh.
That was a bad move because the subtitles are all jacked up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I know what you're
So
talking about.
that was my first
My
lesson with
friend,
ordering imports.
I don't know if it's a friend, one of my friends several years ago, maybe about 7 years ago, I'm not sure, but he actually bought a Japanese import of Samurai Girl Real Bout High School.
Yeah.
And it had there was no English dub to it. It was only subtitled. The subtitles were basically Zero Wing plus bad spelling. It was so fucking
Yeah.
bad.
Then you get the random symbols thrown in for no reason, and you're like, what the hell do they think this means?
It
Why
means,
is there a dollar sign and at?
yeah.
But I love Code Geass. It's one of my favorite series. I'm a big mecha geek. I love mecha anime, which is strange because I think I'm like the minority in our little anime corner here on YouTube. But I love mecha, and I liked that series despite it being so like crazy metrosexual, which was funny. Uh, I think I even have even in my like AMV, I think I have a scene where they're like two of the main male characters in the second season are cooking something, and they're both wearing like pink aprons. Everything about it's hilarious.
All right. Next thing on my list. This is a classic that I love a lot. Just gotta put the DVD back there. Azumanga Daioh, the complete collection.
Oh, I've never even seen that, but I should. Everyone tells me it's great.
It is. It's like one of the first slice of life anime I've seen. Maybe the first one. I don't know. Uh, my memory not working so well, but Azumanga Daioh was pretty damn hilarious. The characters are all interesting. They actually do things in the anime. Um, there's some hilarious gags and insane moments. I have seen the series fan sub before, but eventually I liked it so much I wanted to own I wanted to own the DVD to the series. Plus, I wanted to see how the English dub was, and I was pretty much well satisfied with it. And yeah, it's a damn good series. I still love it. I still think it's funny to this day. I also owned the entire manga too. That's how much I liked it.
Wow.
Yeah, there was only 4 volumes, so psh,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Plus, they have an omnibus that's just one fucking big book, and psh.
I guess the next thing on my list would be Gundam 0083. This is my favorite Gundam series out of them all. It's really dramatic. I love the characters. I love the character development. I like the interaction between the characters. The plot line is basically the remnants of Zeon are like trying to come back together for like one final push to like attack Earth, and it shows you like their struggles and kind of their fundamentalism, and it shows the armies of Earth trying to strike back and figure out what they're doing and things like that. It's a fantastic series.
Oh man, you didn't talk about the opening. That opening was epic.
The opening is epic.
Yes, it is. I fucking love that song.
But it's a great series through and through.
I think that was
Unfortunately, I don't own OATHMS Team, which is also a really awesome series.
yeah, that was actually the first Gundam anime to be aired on the Adult Swim program block.
0083 or OATHMS Team?
0083. 08th MS Team aired on Toonami's Midnight Run.
Oh, yeah, they're great series. I mean, they're the best of the entire Gundam universe, in my opinion.
Okay. Um, Next up on the list is Ikki Tousen Dragon Destiny. How the hell did that get in there? How much money did that piss away on this one again?
$25, I think it was.
Oh, bullshit. It had to be less than that.
I remember you saying it was 25. I could be wrong.
Oh, it probably is. Uh,
You bought it because it was cheap too. I remember that.
yeah, that too. I have a sadistic nature in myself. Sometimes I do like to watch shitty anime, and plus there's always that off chance that, this series might actually be good. And for one reason or another, I thought the later seasons, which had a completely different animation studio to it, would probably improve. It looked that way by the first episode, but then afterwards it just started going downhill to the point where I'm at a stopping point halfway into the series. I was actually watching this show pretty frequently, in hopes that it will actually get really, really good. And while it had the potential to be pretty damn good, it screws me over in one way or another. I'm
Yeah.
not even going to give out the examples of it because some of it is too nasty.
Every day you would call me up and just be like, "Well, it still sucks."
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I just got through the 4th episode. My God, this show just not getting any better. I don't know. And it looks like that. It looks like it's going to improve by the next episode I'm going to watch. But I know I'm deluding myself at that point. I will tell you this: I can actually list more things I like about Dragon Destiny over the first season. So yes, by comparison, I do like the second season more than the first one so far. but that's not saying much. So I'm going to say, no, I don't like this. I do regret pissing that money away, but then again, I don't really care anymore since that was a while ago.
Um, I guess the next thing I'm confused on what I've talked about when I haven't. I've just been kind of picking from my pile.
The
Uh,
last thing you talked about was Gundam 0083.
that's right. Have I completed? I think I've talked about all my complete series now. Actually, I can start moving into the random shit I have.
All right, move into the randomness.
Well, I have. Let's see here. I have Interlude. I don't know what it is. Um, I got sent it by accident from some place I bought online, and they just let me keep it. And yeah, no idea what it is, but I'm looking forward to watching it. I can read the back here. No, wait, I can't pronounce Japanese names. No, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do it.
Oh boy, get yourself some popcorn. This is going to take a while.
A boy who is living the normal life of a high school student. Oh God, have we not heard that a billion times? Soon has the world around him shattered as he shifts into another world that is shrouded in mystery, where the only other person who exists is Aya. In this other world, he finds himself in the Moon City, where Aya provides her protection as a skilled archer.
Oh, we
And
haven't heard that one
this,
before.
yeah, this is very generic. In the Moon City, he also finds out the truth about the reality of his very existence. Okay. The reality of his very existence. This will answer the meaning of life, Darkstream, if we watch this. The meaning of life.
Yeah. Now you have to review that movie.
Yeah. Now that no one give anything away in the comments section. I'm just go into it. Go into it with nothing. Although I will say it sounds like a massive ripoff of some of the concepts of Inuyasha, strangely enough.
Yeah.
Just the whole Archer and Otherworld and normal schoolboy thing. The Moon City thing threw me off. Like, where the hell did they get that from?
All right. Next thing in my collection, or in the piece of my collection, Slayer's Evolution R, which is the fifth and possibly final season of the Slayer series. Um, Big time Slayers fan. I think people already know that. Love the hell out of the movies and the OVAs as well. I also read some of the graphic novels, and I even played the Super NES game on an emulator with an English patch and all. It kind of played like Dragon Quest. Um, 3 episodes in, and I don't want to spoil much, but I'm kind of nervous continuing watching it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, was one thing about that series that kind of threw me off. I prefer you guys don't spoil anything if you've seen this already, because I do want to go this with an open mind. But oh man, what they did to Naga the Serpent was fucked up.
Yeah. I
That's
haven't seen the original Slayers, otherwise I'd probably feel your pain.
that's a whole nother rant for a whole nother day.
I would like to see you. You should do a Nerd Rage on that. We should have
Oh,
that in one of our
I
Nerd Rage
could,
episodes.
I could, because this is pretty bad.
I'll find something else to rage about it.
Yeah, you could talk about how a character got raped in a favorite franchise and yours too. Anyway, yeah, and I actually put up through Slayer's Revolution. I liked Slayer's Revolution a lot, but Evolution R, everything would have been okay if it weren't for that particular moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
Yeah, I have a couple other things. Well, actually, I have a few. I have three more things I want to talk about. Wait, no, four. Haha. I have volume one of Infinite Ryvius. I haven't been able to find the other volumes of this in any stores around me. This series is really badly acted, but it's okay. I mean, it's about a bunch of kids in space who are training to turning on this mining colony, basically. Then eventually what happens is the ship gets attacked, all the adults die. Now they're floating on some sort of super cruiser in space, and they're trying to live their lives in this community stranded in space while these crazy people are chasing them down. And that's about as far as I've made it into the series. But I would keep watching it because I find it interesting, the sociology concepts in it, but the acting was pretty bad, in my opinion.
All right. Let's see. Digging through. Uh. Tenchi Muyo, volumes 1 and 2. I know I have 3 and 4 somewhere. They're probably down here. Hold on. Yep, there they are. Do I need to actually say what I think about Tenchi Muyo? I mean, I think everyone's got the basic gist of it. I like it. I will.
You clearly hate it.
Yeah, clearly this is an overrated piece of crap. But it was a pain for me to get this whole series. I bought Tenchi Muyo Volume 1 when I bought Excel Saga Volume 1 because I was curious about Excel Saga and I wanted to pick up Tenchi because it wasn't airing on Toonami anymore and Toonami was starting to get shitty in my eyes. You know, with SD Gundam, finishing up Dragon Ball Z. You know, I was just not liking it.
Yeah, it got pretty lame near the end.
And then, eventually, a couple years later, I found volumes 2 and 4 sitting at an FYE somewhere, but there was no volume 3. But there was a special deal where I could buy one Jenny on DVD and I could get another for free. Same case with ADV titles. So I took the chance. I said, but I bought volumes 2 and 4, and I said, what the hell? Maybe one day volume 3 will show up. Well, a couple years later after that, a friend of mine and I were just having a chat about everything, and then we just walked into the FYE just to browse around. And the only thing good about FYE is that you can find used DVDs of stuff you may want.
Yeah.
And eventually, I found Volume 3 for $10, and I said, "Yeah, I have to get it, so I can fill up that collection." So yeah, it took forever, and I actually got Tenchi Universe before I got the rest of Tenchi Muyo. So yeah, I like it. I was actually surprised how uncut the DVDs are when compared to when I saw them on Toonami. I mean, I knew some things were going to happen, like that digital purple bikini from Ryoko was definitely going to be removed and everything, but I didn't know that they took scenes out completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess my next series. I guess I'm just gonna cover something basic before I move on to the last two. Haruhi-Suzumiya. I own the first 2 volumes. I don't have the complete first season yet, even though I'd like to, because I love that series. But it's a great series, like Darkscreen was talking about before. It's a good series. I like all the characters. I like the dynamics in their group. And I just like the way it played out. It's a pretty good series. I'd recommend it. I can't recommend the second season because I haven't seen it. And based on what Darkstream's told me, the Endless Age is like burning your eyes out.
And your brain.
And your brain.
Yeah, brain.
And those are useful. You need those for things. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about that.
Okay. Anywho, let's see what else I got. Tenchi in Tokyo.
Tenchi in Tokyo.
Okay.
I liked it when I was a kid, and that's all I know.
Okay. That's why the sounds got a little awkward. I said in an earlier video that I absolutely hated Tenchi in Tokyo because I thought it was really too dumb. I didn't like the villains. I didn't like the fact that it was another fucking retelling, which is why people who aren't familiar with Tenchi will get confused on where to start with the series. Because there's like 3 alternate retellings plus 700 fucking spin-offs of this series.
Yeah.
Tenchi in Tokyo, I thought the art style and the art and the music was such a downgrade compared to the TV and the OVA series. I did not like the fact that they had these Power Rangers-esque monster of the week villains. Sakuya was a bit of a Mary Sue for some reason that Tenchi was interested in for God knows what reason. Turns out she wasn't even really a human being at all. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, she's actually like some embodiment reincarnation of the villain or something. I don't know. It's been a while, but that much I know.
Wow,
Um,
that's weird shit.
yeah. The reason why I bought there were two reasons why I bought the complete collection. One, it was really, really cheap online. $15. It was part of some bargain bin sale. Yeah. And second, well, it's been years since I saw Tenchi Tokyo. Maybe my opinions change. Maybe I'll like it just a little more. However, I've yet to start watching the series ever since I bought it back in December.
I still gotta buy that and watch it with you. I remember telling you that we'd do that.
Well, like I said, I found $15 on Right Stuff.
Oh wow, I remember that too. It's funny that you mentioned that people don't know where to start because I actually wanted to watch Tenchi, and I remember going to you when I like barely knew you and asking you if Tenchi Universe was a good place to start.
It's a decent place to start. It's not too convoluted. You'll get everything's a bit more straightforward.
I'm glad you recommended that too because it's the series from my childhood as it turned out. It was the one I watched on Toonami,
Hmm.
so it was a lot of fun to watch.
All right.
That's great.
Next thing on your list.
Deers. I have the first volume of Deers. Everyone hates it. I thought it was hilarious. It's one of those things, I guess. I mean, it's pretty like it's pretty misogynistic. The fact that like some dude owns some alien chick who's on a leash who's completely stupid, and like they're like competing for his affection and all that other shit. I mean, that's a little messed up. And of course, he's a pervert, from what I remember anyway. No, wait, maybe he wasn't. I don't fucking remember. It's been a long time since I watched that. But anyways, I thought it was funny when I watched it. That's all I remember. I've made an AMV of it, but it's no longer available on YouTube. I never bought the other seasons. I mean, the other volumes. I mean, just because I guess it wasn't good enough to continue watching. It was just kind of a really rude, obscure, humorous anime.
Hmm. Okay, next thing on my list. Nurse Witch Komugi, the complete collection. I reviewed it a while ago. The review is sitting. Wait, let me check. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's sitting on Blip TV, and I said I liked it. I liked it a lot. I still do. Um, Not much to say. There was like two commentary tracks on each. One commentary per DVD. That was it.
Alright, well, to wrap up my anime collection, I have one volume of something I have not even sat down to watch yet. I bought it, and I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I didn't even enjoy it as a kid, but for some reason I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking buy this and check it out. But it's Blue Gender.
Ugh.
I barely even remember it, but
My anime club tries to push that show, and every time they do, I leave the room.
well, it's funny because I remember watching as a kid, and I just remember the feelings of being depressed and disgusted. I remember this being really violent and really depressing.
Well, the thing is, I didn't really care for Blue Gender when it aired on Adult Swim because it aired after Fully Cooley. And what do you think is going to get my attention more? A zany, wacky, off-the-wall anime I haven't seen before. I haven't seen anything like that before. Keep in mind, I saw Fully Cooley before I saw Excel Saga. And then ever since, I found more zany, off-the-wall animes afterwards, or some show about bugs with vaginas in their mouths, or vagina mouths with dark, tragic story and straightforward animation. What do you think? What do you think caught my interest more?
Probably the first one.
Yeah, Fully Cooley caught my interest more. Blue Gender was kind of an underwhelming follow-up.
So you never have you ever given it a chance and sat down and like watched it then?
I think I watched like the first episode, but then I just didn't care afterwards.
I watched a few episodes, and when I was a kid, and I remember it becoming interesting to me. But I did that thing you do when you're a kid, where you watch something and then you just don't anymore. Like you discover a fucking video game, or your parents bring down the curfew hammer on you or something.
Mm.
And so I just lost interest and never finished it. Oh, I have one more I forgot about.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I still got ways to go. Next thing in this bag of DVDs, Slayers: The Book of Spells. This is actually one of the first Slayers DVDs I bought way back when. I originally, when I had plans to buy more DVDs, I originally wanted to check out Chrono Crusade. Slayers was like a secondary choice for me. Before I really didn't care. I saw some AMVs that a friend of mine showed me, and I was like, okay, what is this series really? It's like, oh, it's a fantasy series starring Lena Inverse and Naga the Serpent. I was like, okay, so we looked up some pics or whatever, and I thought, alright, I'll go check out that series and see if I can find anything from Slayers while I'm at the store. So I went to the Best Buy with my friend, found Volume 1 of Chrono Crusade, and I was able to afford this DVD as well as Slayers the Motion Picture. And when I was watching all three shows later that night, I actually loved Slayers a hell of a lot more. It caught my interest more than Chrono Crusade. Not saying that Chrono Crusade was a bad anime, it's just that I thought Slayers was better when I was watching these for the first time.
I didn't even know that that's what Chrono Crusade was about.
The Chrono Crusade, you never heard of it?
I've heard the name, but I've never actually heard of what it's about.
It takes place in 1920s New York, demon exorcists. It actually aired recently on Sci-Fi.
I don't watch sci-fi anymore.
Neither do I. It's not even called Sci-Fi. It's called Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Which I believe that's what the kids are calling it nowadays. You know, syphilis, Sci-Fi.
Yep.
All right. You said you got one or two more DVDs left.
I have one more complete series, but I can't find it, so I hope I didn't sell it. It doesn't seem like a series I would sell. Maybe I did sell it, but I might as well talk about it anyway. Oh wait, I have two series left. Fancy that. Okay, well, the first one, maybe I did fucking sell it. I hope I didn't. But it's Dot Hack Sign. I own that series, and I was in love with it when I was 14. I absolutely love that series. Unfortunately, not everything you like when you're a kid holds up to the test of time. Because even though I liked Dot Hack Sign back then, the fact that it didn't live out to its full potential, the action was really bad. Yeah, it was boring. I mean, there was like an entire episode where a character just sat around and did nothing, but wait for like another character. So
That is my general reaction to that series, by the way.
it's a pretty boring series, and I gave it a C
it was.
in my review.
You know, I don't like stuff that bores me. I would have given it a worse rating, dude. I don't like stuff that bores me. I'm telling you, dude. If I'm bored by this, I will give it a worse grade. I'm surprised you were that merciful. Die Hack Sign, the only damn good thing about it, soundtrack. Just pick up the soundtrack. Don't bother with the anime. The soundtrack's beautiful. The Yuki Kojira score was amazing. Who would eventually work on Madoka. You know, just stick with that. The anime itself. You know, an anime about people playing an MMO video game. They really don't play that MMO that much, do they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that was
just get
fucking
on and
annoying.
talk.
Yeah, they just
Funnily
sit
enough,
down
though,
and
that's
talk.
what I did when I played MMOs. Is I just get on and chat with people. Then I realized how pathetic it was and stopped doing that.
They just stand around and just talk. And what are you going to ask me 5 minutes from now? I'm going to tell you. They're just standing around. They're just talking.
What are they talking about?
You know what? I fucking hate you. Oh, Red versus Blue. Speaking of which, Red versus Blue, the Recollection was in my was in my book bag, but I didn't bother talking about it because it wasn't anime. But
Since it's a Western, yeah.
but I am a huge fan of Red vs. Blues. So big of a fan, I actually do go out of my way and buy the DVDs. Anywho, next thing I have in here, The Melancholy of Haruhi-Suzumiya second season.
That's been rearing its head throughout these entire brief reviews.
Okay, admittingly, I haven't seen the rest of the second season. I'm pretty sure after Endless Ache, it gets better.
Yeah.
My God. Endless Eight arc. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is the laziest, dumbest, most middle. Dude, you can. You could just show a middle finger for 3 hours and 20 minutes and you would get the same results. Because I think that season was made to spite the fans. And while I do hate the Haruhi fan base for being some of the nitpickiest sons of bitches out there, they actually do have the right to complain about the Endless Eight. They really do, because I do think it's that bad. I'm siding with the fanboys on this one. It was pretty damn stupid how they did this. And I said I was going to do a rant about that sometime in the future, and so I hope I do it, because it needs to be discussed. Someone, I'm not going to name who, but about a year or two ago, someone actually said it was good, and I thought people, and he said, oh, the fans, they're just complaining for the sake of complaining. I was like, well, okay. And then eventually I went on to see the arc myself, and I'm like, you know what? That guy who said that, he's full of shit.
That guy was a douche.
He was. I don't think he was trying to be a douche, but he rubbed me the wrong way when he said that. No, this was pretty bad. And like I said, more may be discussed in the future about this.
They tried to do something artistic that had never been done before, and it failed. Like that's what I think would happen.
Yeah.
So my last thing, I think this is my actual last thing, is Full Metal Panic. That's a series that I really, really have enjoyed.
Oh,
I have not finished it.
I saw the whole series, the whole first season, Full Metal Panic and Full Metal Panic for Mofu. I love them both.
Yeah, they're great. I love the characters. I love how the main male lead isn't a pervert, but like everyone treats him as if he is, even though he has no sex drive. His sex drive is
Yeah,
dead.
he has none.
I've never seen anyone with a worse sex drive than that kid.
I don't think that guy will get a boner unless if you're talking about assault rifles and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And combat tactics. That'll get him aroused. I'm pretty
And
sure.
I mean, it's pervert humor, but it's played in such a way that where he isn't a pervert, which makes it actually funny to me. Or like he'll be outside.
The first 3 episodes, and then afterwards it starts to get. I know you
It
have.
gets a little more serious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets more serious. There's actually a plane hijacking scene that occurred, which kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I think I was watching Full Metal Panic. Yeah, sometime
Oh wow.
2004, 2005, about a couple years after 9/11, and I thought, is this right?
Yeah.
Actually, heard
Well,
the series got delayed in Japan or something because of 9/11. Something happened regarding 9/11 because that caused the series to get on hiatus or something.
that's about as far as I've watched is the plane hijacking arc, and then I stopped watching after that.
And then, yeah, afterwards it goes back to more zaniness, then it goes back to being more serious, and then
Yeah.
and then
Arcing.
and then for Mofu, it's just a straight up comedy series.
It's just funny, which works because the characters are great too.
Yeah, the characters were fun. I like the fact that Sosuke managed to turn a fucking mascot costume into a super mech suit.
I want to check that out. That sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, like that's something I would play as in Counter Strike or something. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's all you have, and
Yeah.
I have plenty more. And you know what? I'm going to see if I can try to separate. Well, this video is going to be in multiple parts, maybe, but
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can separate everything else on my own. You can actually chime in if you want. Let's see.
All right.
Another show, Nanaka 617, complete collection. Another series I need to finish, and I'm very close to finishing. But I put it on hiatus for a couple years. It's about this girl named Nanaka who's 17 years old, who's pretty smug and mature and kind of alienates herself from everyone else. And her childhood friend was kind of getting a Nenji, who gets very annoyed by her attitude. Well, they got into a massive argument. She fell down some stairs while it was raining. And because of
Wow.
that, she got some mental damage to where she reverted back to a 6 year old.
Jesus. That's fucked up.
It is. And surprisingly, this show is not as dark or perverted as I thought it would be. It's actually very, very lighthearted. And the show is pretty fun. And Monica Rial from ADV is actually one of my favorite voice actresses, and I met her before in Louisiana Anime.
Oh, wow.
I point that out is because she voices the main character, Nanaka herself, and she actually does a really interesting voice range with the character. Like whenever she's the older self, she has a very deeper voice, but when she becomes 6 year old Nanaka, she raises the pitch some. Actually, she actually sounds. That's actually her regular speaking voice, actually.
She just has a really high speaking voice.
Yeah, but she can deepen it to sound more normal. Uh,
Huh.
yeah. Uh, so she uses that voice for a 6 year old. And like I said, I don't think the show's that perfect. There are some running gags that were annoying. Um, I don't think it's a show for everybody, but I found it good. I'll finish it up. It's pretty lighthearted. I didn't hate, I kind of enjoyed it. All right. What do you have, Multifire? Oh, wait.
You know
That's all
what I
you got.
what I gotta do is have my like own personal Toonami where I'm just gonna take all the series I haven't finished and just watch them like just every day, just watch an episode from each of those series.
Yeah, I know. I have enough anime to start my own primetime block.
We should do that and just like Skype each other as we do it.
Okay, the
Awesome.
next thing on my list, Tenchi Universe, the complete collection. Yeah, the show is stupid. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone knows how I feel about that series. We just talked about it 30 minutes ago, back in part one. Come on, catch up with us. Catch up with us. Okay, next series, School Rumble. I bought this during one of the Christmas times with my Christmas money. First season. It's a fun show. Not a lot of people like this show.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it.
Why is that? Just too much
I don't
fan
know.
service or
No. There's actually not that much fan service. I don't know why, but personally, I find it entertaining. It's another slice of life show. Um, some of the moments got me laughing really hard. Like one of the characters like turned into some sort of monk dude or whatever. You know, became one with the animals. That's
huh?
pretty hilarious. Grew a long ass beard too. Um, it's very very zany, very kind of weird. But it's a fun series to watch. But I need to continue watching more of it. So yeah, I'll give it a like it so far. Next series I have Negima, the second series, the one that was made by Shaft.
And is that the one you enjoyed?
Yes, I
All
haven't
right.
finished watching it. I remember watching the subs of it way back when during my webmaster class in high school, where nobody was looking or caring because I already got my assignments done. I was watching the fan subs of it, but then my high school added the smart filter, so that shut it down, so I couldn't watch it there. And I tried watching it on my other friends' computers, and I only got up to like the like late teens in that series. Um, But then I heard Funimation was licensing this particular series, and then I decided to buy both thin packs. And I still have yet to finish this, even though I like it. I will admit there is no character development in. There's very little character development in this series.
Yeah.
There it is. It strays too far away from the original manga more than the original anime, which fans really hated because it had shitty art. Um, yeah, it mostly had shitty art. There was one time where they accidentally draw one character with 6 fingers. I am not making that up.
Wow.
I'll show you that screen cap sometime in the future. It's also the fact that they did not spend too much time on a particular story arc. Couple filler episodes, everything was out of order, yada yada yada. But the new series is complete. It's like Pony Pony Dash with Negima characters. It's just random humor, and the reason why I love this anime so much was not only it was based off of Negima, one of my favorite manga series I still like to read to this day, but it was the first Shaft anime I've seen. And it was the first time I saw that style. You saw Maria Holic. You saw how random and zany the artwork was in that show, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, well, this was I saw your first experience with a Shaft anime. Well, mine was kind of similar, except when I was in high school, I was a little more excited and less cynical.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
I enjoyed this a lot.
did I ever talk about Fafner?
I don't think you did.
That's that's surprising. It's in the middle of my pile, and the entire time I was like, I
It's
gotta
the anime
think.
you fucking love, but you wanted to hate originally.
Yeah,
God damn it! Now I have to. Now you have to talk about Fafner.
yeah, I completely forgot about that. Well, Fafner is it's an Evangelion clone basically.
Yeah.
The first couple episodes are like literally Evangelion, just totally nothing but Evangelion, just like worse than Evangelion. But it increases in quality, and like I enjoy the characters and I enjoy the way it develops. Basically, what happens? It's your typical Evangelion setup. They're aliens. They're trying to go down to Earth and assimilate all the human beings. And there's this island somewhere. It's like some sort of remnant of Japan, and it has the project that has these crazy mecha suits that children can pilot to save the world. So that's pretty Evangelion. Then they copy other Evangelion aspects that are like really original to Evangelion. But I'll go into that eventually. I still have to do a guide to that series. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Wow.
the characters surprisingly. I enjoyed the way they interacted, and when it wasn't trying to be Evangelion, it was actually pretty good. And there are times it actually you can feel it being forced into this Evangelion shit. Like, oh, we gotta copy Evangelion, gotta get with that status quo. So there are times the series just strays. Like you'll really be enjoying yourself, and all of a sudden it'll be like, now he has to be metaphysical in this bubble world. You're like, why? That doesn't make sense in this series. It made sense in Evangelion, but not in this series. Go back to being Fafner and not Evangelion.
All right, the next thing that's added to my collection, and boy, I should have talked about this way back in an earlier part of the recording, but oh my god, it's the OVA series. Yes, I found the OVA series like a couple days after I started watching the TV series for $25 used, and I said, yes, I have to pick this up. 5 episodes. I only saw the first 2. Well, actually, I saw the first 4, but I was hardly paying attention the last time I saw it. Comes with some bonus features. Apparently, you can create your own commentary with this or something. I don't know. Um, this is better paced than compared to the TV series, mostly because it's an OVA. They can't do everything, so they have to like trim the fat. But this was made before the TV series, mind you. Obviously, they were both adapted from the manga, but I haven't read the manga yet, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a like.
All right. I'm going to talk about a series that is no longer part of my collection, but I hated it so much. Like, I enjoyed it as a kid, but I was like 11 when I enjoyed it. So I went out and bought it. Um, Candidate Pilot,
Oh, Pilot Candidate,
or Pilot Candidate. I get it confused.
also known as Derpity Derpity Doo.
It's horrible. It's the worst series ever. The writing is laughable. The acting is laughable. I switched it to Japanese acting. It was still just as bad. The writing is just that terrible. Like, it was just bad. Everything about it screamed terrible. So I sold it. I watched 1 episode and I sold it. And that goes against my 3 episode rule. But I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I could not bring myself to watch the second episode. That's how
Yeah,
bad it was.
I also have a 3 episode rule. Speaking of which, I still have yet to see episode 3 of A Channel because the first 2 episodes were that bad. Anywho, back to the collection. Something else I found, while I also found, oh my goddess, I found Devil Hunter Yoko, the complete collection. This is a show, by the way, if people say that there's too much fan service or anime used to be great until all this fan service started happening in the 2000s or whatever, well, this anime will fucking counterpoint it because this has a lot of fan service in it, especially in the first episode. There was a semi-rape scene.
Wow.
Or a character almost got raped, but thankfully Grandma saves the day.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, like fan service existed back in the 90s. In fact, most of the shows I owned, Those Who Hunt Elves, Burn Up Excess, this stuff I was telling you, fan service. And they have plenty of them. But, Devil Hunter Yoko, I really like, especially the fact that this is ADV's first fucking series they licensed.
Really?
Yeah. There's a whole commentary track to it, and it's pretty awesome how this is how ADV came to be. It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. And I might be wrong, but ADV is the company that disappeared, right?
It became Section 23 or Sentai
Okay.
Filmworks or both. I don't know. But yeah, it's basically about a girl who becomes a devil hunter, the 108th devil hunter, fights demons. It's a pretty fun show. It has some zany moments. The first Devil Hunter Yoko. There's like a regular edition. There's a special edition which has like 30 seconds of extra footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty
That
fun.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I found this. $11 per collection too. Next thing on my list, Comic Party Revolution. Because I haven't finished watching Comic Party, I can't comment on Revolution. But I actually saw some reviews of Revolution, and they were mostly negative. The show was lackluster in comparison to the first season. But I bought it because it was only $20.
Well, if it's cheap, might as well give it a try.
Yeah, this is the Save Edition. Save stands for Super Amazing Value Edition.
Oh,
The
wow.
fact that I said that made it sound like I said edition twice. Super Amazing Value Edition. Its problem is I bet it doesn't have that much bonus features in comparison, but whatever. I'm gonna watch Revolution after Comic Party. I heard that the voice actors changed in the English dub. The art style definitely looks a lot different in comparison. Doesn't look as 90s-ish. It looks more modern in style. But who knows? Maybe I'll be the devil's advocate. Maybe it will be just as good as the original Comic Party, or I might like it more. There's always that off chance. And I'm not as cynical as everyone else, at least not yet. And I hope to never be like that.
You're a lot less cynical. I think when I first met you, you were more cynical than you are now.
I can't wait to see you do a rant about that.
How your cynicism changed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, for me, the very opposite has happened, or I think the very opposite happened to me.
Yeah. Well, it's probably just because I decided to white knight such drastically bad shows
Yeah,
the opposite
that
happened.
I got sick and tired of arguing with you about them. It's like, Ikki Tousen's good. Are you shitting me, you piece of shit?
I can defend anything if I really want to.
You
That's my
defended it
special
from
talent.
random DCE. That was actually a really good video response. Even he agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of work too. I put a lot of work into defending that show.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't even think it's that good of a show.
The next show I bought, um, is apparently an OVA called Maze the Mega Burst Space or whatever. I know there was a TV series of it, but I don't know. I randomly bought this because it was $8.
Oh God.
Yeah, again, all these bargain shows, all these shows from the 90s. You
I've
know,
been listening in on it too.
yeah, betting Freddy. I go all betting Freddy when I see these shows. You know, betting Freddy, right? A bet. Yeah, it has two OVAs, and it comes with the first episode of the TV series. I haven't seen the first episode, but I have seen the first two OVAs, and apparently it's screenwritten by Kasumi Hasegawa, who did the screenwriting for Slayer's Next, which, according to some Slayer's fans, is the best season in the TV series. Which is hard to disagree. That TV season was pretty freaking awesome, and the ending was really epic. But this show is this is another show where I can use the fan service argument for, because it was pretty perverted.
Yeah, well, it was practically a hentai. I could
Yeah.
tell just by listening in. They weren't ashamed of it either. They just
There was excessive
threw it at you.
nudity. There was a couple sexual innuendo jokes. There was some lines of dialogue that came off as innuendo. It's probably because the English dubbing was that bad, and boy, was it bad. Um, the series is about this person who gets trapped into some fantasy world or whatever. I was barely paying attention, but this woman named Maze, and apparently she at nighttime she turns into a guy, so it's kind of like Rama, one half, except in a reverse manner and completely different fashion. And when he turns into a guy, he turns into a perverted guy, very, wants to screw everything that's near him. And he actually does, like, have sex with one of the supporting characters in this show. He actually gets away banging her, which I find kind of shocking, because most perverted characters wouldn't get away with that unless they're in a hentai.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is
Explains
not a
why the
hentai.
fairy called them brother sister. That always confused
Or
me.
his sister, brother. It wasn't a fairy.
Yeah.
Some priestess woman, I don't know. Um, big brother, sister. And then they have a lesbian in that series that, like, licked the main character in the hot spring. And
Wow.
there was this one scene where they get thrown into a trapdoor in an underground cave, and they found some skeletons. And there was these two skeletons that was doing the scissor position. I was like, what the hell? Even the characters pointed out, it's like, wow, looked like someone had fun there. It's like, what? And one of the supporting characters is like, what are you talking about? Whisper, whisper, whisper. Oh my god! It's just, and the show is like it's like a very perverted Slayers, really. And there was some moments that kind of reminded me of Slayers. I mean, it got some silly moments. There was a lot of fourth wall breaking, especially when they had to answer trivia questions with a dragon. It was
Yeah.
pretty fun, silly OVAs. Those two OVAs were pretty fun, silly. The English dub was bad, but it was so bad it was actually pretty enjoyable. If I ever do find the TV series, which I doubt I will, because it was, licensed by Central Park Media, and I think they went under too. But if I do find the TV series, I will buy it, because despite some of the cons, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. So that's it. We talked for a long ass time.
Hell yeah, that was a long video. Like, it's going to be like quite a few episodes.
Yeah, this might actually go into the backup channel in Blip TV. I'll just link people to it.
Just one gigantic video.
Yeah, it might be easier that way.
Those who finish it deserve a cookie.
Yes, you guys do. Well, I hope, and maybe in the future I will talk about more, do these mini reviews. I would actually talk about shows in my collection that I have actually finished. The next time I do this. And like I said, if you really want to see like discussions and arguments between me and Multifire, please post a comment whether or not you would enjoy seeing them, because there was some yelling and arguments going on that you might want to hear. With that said, Darkscream217 signing out.
And this is Multifire. I'll see you in future videos.
Peace.